In this video, I'll show you everything you need to get started with Starlink, how to get the least expensive service plan, how to power it with just a power bank, and how to configure it with the Starlink app. Welcome to the channel. My name is Bogdan Chperny, founder of Apex One IT, and we do small business IT. Now, Starlink has been around for quite some time now, and as you might know, you can use Starlink to connect to the internet via satellites, which means that you can have internet coverage basically anywhere and even in places where there's no cell coverage at all. Today, I'm going to show you the Starlink Mini, which was launched this year in 2024. It's the smallest all-in-one satellite antenna and it's a Wi-Fi router. And with it, you can get internet service for just $50 a month. Let's start at the top with just purchasing Starlink. Okay, how do you actually get started? So you go to starlink.com. And the one we want to look at in particular is not residential here, but just click on Roam. You can also go starlink.com/Roam. They'll take you to the same place in case they don't have this here. Now it shows you here the Starlink Mini starts at $599 and is saying your service plans start at $50 a month. Okay, so that's that Roam service plan. And if you scroll down, we'll actually want to take a look before we purchase. This page here just shows you the two Roam service plans or internet plans that are available. So the Roam 50 gigabit and the Roam Unlimited. So $50 a month versus $165. And if you click view plans, this actually shows you all of them, personal and business ones that you can look at. And there's a lot of different variety. But for the Starlink Mini, let's keep it in personal. And what you really care about is the Roam right here. You can also use it for the other plans, like even residential. And you can start with one plan, by the way, when you sign up and change to other ones later. Don't be too concerned there. So if you want kind of the cheapest option, you would start with the Roam 50 gigabit plan. And as you can see, you get countrywide coverage, coast to coast kind of coverage here. In motion use, and they say like up to 100 miles an hour. And for international, you can do up to 2 months. So for example, I had a client already who went to Mexico with a Starlink. No problem, just took it with him, used it and came back less than 2 months. Coastal coverage, so it won't work if you just go out way deep into the ocean. You can't use your Starlink there, at least not this one. That's when you get the service for boats. But with the coastal coverage, that means you can go like 12 miles off the coast and you'll still have coverage. And you can also pause your service, and we'll talk about that later. And what's really important here, of course, is why the Roam one is called 50 gigabit, is that's how much data you get to use. And quite frankly, that is not a lot. This is like a good backup. Maybe like for cameras or something in some remote place, you're kind of checking on them once in a while. That's what this would be used for. But again, you can start with this and see if you're going to be approaching that limit, because otherwise you are looking at the more expensive option. And then for residential, so the thing here, if you go to residential, you really want to make sure that you can actually get this coverage, because a lot of areas now are too congested, like too much service. So if you click right there, you can see some of these, you have to go on a wait list, like Sacramento, Portland, Seattle, right? San Diego looks like, in Houston. So some of these places now, there's just so many people using this that you have to get on a wait list, use the residential kind of, your standard residential where it's in one location for your address. But anyways, we're looking at the Roam plan, right? And we're going to get the $50 one. So again, you're here in the Roam, and let's go ahead and click order now. So we are shipping to US. There's some other locations as well. You do want to actually ship it where your kind of primary residence is, where you're going to set it up. And you do get a 30-day trial, which is great. And yes, the Starlink Mini arrives in like 2-3 days. I found that to be accurate. So first you choose your hardware, meaning are you getting the Starlink Mini? And that is $599. It's much smaller, and we'll see here. We're going to open up in a minute. Or the standard, and it has this separate router. So it has the terminal or the antenna. And you'll notice though, if you choose Mini, you have the two service plans here, unlimited and the 50, but with the standard, you cannot do that. You can only have the unlimited service. So with the Mini, you have the option of doing the Roam plan here. So optional accessories, these are pretty cool, and we'll actually use one of them, the USB Type-C cable, DC cable that they have here. It doesn't show you all of them here. I'll give you a link in the video description where you can go and see all the different types of accessories you can get for the Starlink Mini in particular. But if you want to, you can go ahead and choose them here and purchase them right away. But it actually doesn't save you any money. This cost right here, so $45, it includes shipping. So after you purchase your Starlink, you can actually go back into your account, see the accessories, and just purchase them. They're going to cost the same. It doesn't help you. So that's what I would recommend. First, just purchase the Starlink with the service plan. Add your shipping address, of course. They do charge shipping and handling, so $20 in my case here. And you'll notice the $50 service plans add on, but your total is, well, and the tax is not calculated yet because they didn't put in the address. Pre-tax total $619. So the service plan is not included in here, and it starts when you actually configure, set up the Starlink, or within 30 days. Okay, so you have 30 days after it ships to actually get your service started. So go ahead and purchase the Starlink Mini with the service plan that you want. And if you found this video helpful already, please subscribe and smash the like button, and we'll go ahead and unbox the Starlink Mini. All right, the Starlink Mini. So it comes shipped like this. Right from the top, they have pretty good pictorial instructions here. Setup.starlink.com, or we're just gonna use the app. Is the Starlink itself. It's about width of my finger. With the kickstand mount, it is 2.5 pounds. It has this kind of textured, hammered look to it, like a hard plastic on the back. And the footprint of this guy, this is your US leather sheet. And the Starlink's 11 3/4 in length, 10.2 inches across, and less than 1.5 inches in thickness here. And this all feels like some kind of plastic, basically. I'm not sure what it is, and this is kind of smooth, where the antenna actually is. This is IP67 rated, basically waterproof. You can put it anywhere. It comes with one of these, what they call it, Starlink plug. Also IP67, but it's just to block out the Ethernet port right there. And it should also operate up to 122 degrees Fahrenheit. We'll see how that does. It does get pretty hot here in California, but it can also withstand 60-mile-an-hour winds. Oh, basically a hurricane. Then this is 50 meter, 50 feet power cable. Okay, so we'll take one end, and you'll see it has all these kind of grommets, so it does maintain its IP67 rating. You just plug it in there, and until it's all the way flush right there. It does say here that the input ranges from 12 to 48 volts at 5 amps. But if you want to power with an external battery, it does need to be at least a 100 amp battery. This is also not just the satellite dish. In here, built in, is both the internet router and Wi-Fi. So your wireless access point, it's Wi-Fi 5, which is totally fine for this guy because you're not going to be getting crazy speeds. And it has coverage up to 1,200 square feet. So kind of like your smaller access points, maybe something like the Unify Express, if you're familiar with that. And it can also handle up to 128 connected devices. If you want to use the other mount here, you do have to remove this. All you do is place your thumb under here, kind of compress it together, and pull it back. So that just lifts these little tabs right there out of those grooves. And now we can use this pole mount if we want to mount it something more stationary. First, you want to route the power cable here through the left side. Plug that in as before. Then you'll notice this one has teeth back here, so it's going to lock into the further ones over here. You actually want to pinch this together or else you just will not get it in. So pinch this in and then push it. And then you let go and now it's nice and locked. So obviously you place this on a pole, tying it down, and it's good to go. And it's the same thing to remove it. You pinch this in first, and that's all. And this is the power supply. The nice little SpaceX logo there. So as you can see, it's a 30 volt, 2 amp, 60 watts, and IP66. So the other end basically will go into here, and then we're good to go. But we're actually not going to be using the wall outlet, but we got these accessories so we can be a little bit more mobile. And instead, we have here the 5 meter, 16.4 feet. So this is that DC plug adapter to USB Type-C. And it gives you a quick heads up that you do need at least a 100 watt power supply for the USB Type-C, or you're gonna get an indicator that's not working. In my example, just to show you right now, you can get a power bank like this. So this is 100% right now. It's a Ugreen 140 watt. So you could go with 100 watt, but I just got 145 just so I can use it for other things as well. So you can see the output here is actually 140 watts. So I could put, for example, the Starlink Mini on here, you know, either charge my phone or even a secondary router, something like that, access point. That's what this can do. So we'll go ahead and start the setup. So we'll plug this in. And you'll see if this wasn't getting enough power, it would start flashing red. Let me actually show you that. So this port, you see that it's in red, that means it's not getting enough juice. And if it's not shining, that means it's good to go. Okay, we'll have to take this outside, just flip it over, and just plug in your power. I'm just using a power bank for now. After you give it power, you'll see that blue indicator light. Eventually, it'll start flashing there, that's pulsing as it's ready to be set up in the app. And let's open the Starlink app. So first thing, as it's booting up, we can go ahead and click at the top right to sign into your account. Click at the top right to go back, and we can go ahead and select Start Setup. So all we need to do is identify which type of Starlink we have. There's an Enterprise, other ones, but we have the Starlink Mini here. Just click Confirm. You can skip this, but we can check for obstructions. You can just see what that's going to look like. It might prompt you the first time to accept the camera settings, things like that. Just click I'm ready, and it's going to have you scan the entire sky. Let's view our results. As you can tell, I kind of know that that's basically sort of north. So looks like my Starlink is north, and that the red, that's the trees above my head. And our house there is not in the way, so that's good. So in general, you can just see what that looks like. So we're gonna set up here for now. Yeah, we have a good location. Setting up a third-party router, so we're not doing that. I am going to do that for a different video with the unified router gateway. And once I have it done, I'll have a link for you here for sure. But let's go say my Starlink is plugged in. It's telling us we need to find this Wi-Fi name that just called Starlink. So let's go to our settings and connect to that Wi-Fi. So that's just the Wi-Fi just to get it set up. That's the connection to the Starlink antenna here. And let's go back. Sweet, so we're paired. Let's go continue. Now it's already showing at the top right there that it's already online, meaning it's getting an internet connection from the satellites. If you're setting up this the first time, you might also see it downloading updates, software updates. So yes, you do want to do that for sure. And once that's done, you can set up a new Wi-Fi name, okay? So you don't want to use the thing that was there, Starlink, that's easy, free to connect for anybody. You want to set up your own. Maybe just call this Starlink Apex or something. So obviously create your own very secure password and submit. And like it says, it might take a minute here. It's just updating the settings on the Starlink, right? It's the antenna and it's the router built in here. And while this is updating, I should have mentioned, as soon as you connect to that Starlink, you say you want to set up and you connect to that initial Starlink Wi-Fi to set this up, that's basically when your service starts with Starlink, okay? Because you have 30 days to essentially get this set up. You could, to potentially save, or if you're not ready to actually install it, don't do this yet, because your billing cycle will start. And so now it's set up the new Wi-Fi, right, that I call Starlink Apex. It's saying, hey, go to your Wi-Fi settings and connect to that. And the iPhone automatically prompts me to do so. So again, this is just like connecting to Wi-Fi like your own Wi-Fi at home or somewhere else. That's just the name and that's the password there. Okay, great. So we are connected and we're on our Wi-Fi at the top right. You can see that. So quickly here, before we get too far, let's just do a quick speed test. And we already checked the obstructions, we already did this, right? And it's updating this map as it tells you it might take an hour. Let's go to alignment. And you see it's actually not in the best position. So before we run a speed test, see it tells me which way to turn it and it's perfectly aligned. And if you have it tilted a little bit wrong, see that it also changes. The kickstand actually helps. But again, this is ideal, but on your car, on your van, it's not going to be ideal. But let's go ahead and try a speed test here. Right, so we're getting about 70. Not too bad here, because I'm all surrounded by houses. In more rural areas, you'll actually get higher speeds because there's nothing interfering. If you just realign, it might take a minute for it also to establish a better connection. So this would be pretty normal. And then we'll test this again once it's actually installed. See right there, it hit 100 for a second. 36 millisecond latency. That's really good for satellite. Kind of shows you there in that tiny small fonts, but it's also testing the upload speed and the upload about 12 megabits per second. Let's go and check out all the settings. So your stats, just quick status, things about your stats, right? There's our average power draw. So that's pretty useful to know if you're running this off a battery or your battery in your camper van RV. So we did obstructions, alignments, speed tests. Let's go to settings. These are the router settings. So again, this is your Wi-Fi name, your SSID. You can turn on some content filtering if you would like. You can reboot, custom DNS. What might be, this is what we saw earlier, the bypass mode. So we're not doing that, but again, that's like if you want to set up a third-party router. You can also factory resets, like to do this from scratch. And it also has on the back, it has this kind of 2 circling arrows button. So you can click that like really firmly. You should hear it click down, and you hold that for 3 seconds and you can factory reset it. At the top here, you can swipe over to Starlink, and you can see it does have a snow melting feature. So it has it auto enabled just like that, but you can also preheat it. Obviously it's going to take more energy. And also if you're running off the battery right at nights or something, you can do a sleep schedule so that you're not using any power essentially, and it also won't melt snow. So that's pretty useful to save on power. You can reset your obstruction map and again reboot if you need to. And one last thing before we go in and install this, you can click on your counter at the top right, and all your info here, billing, obviously shop, you can pick up like the accessories in that shop there. It shows you what plan you have and if it's on or not, right? So if your Starlink's on, this will be flashing your data usage. Obviously we just got this up, 0.4 gigs we used, and we can change subscription if you need to. That fine text in there is very important. So when you're paying for service with Starlink, right, you're paying for a month up front essentially, and if you pause it, you're going to still have that service until the end of your billing cycle. So you're still paying for those days. The benefit of this is you can unpause it at any time of your billing cycle, and then let's say you unpause it and you have 1 week left in your billing cycle or something, then you're only going to pay for that 1 week, all right? But let's say I only use this for a week right now and I pause it, I'm still paying for the whole month, okay? Does that make sense? So it's not kind of, you can't just pause it and then unpause it like every day or something like that. It doesn't really work like that. Okay, and that actually did not show all the settings yet. Let's go back. So to manage subscription, it was just taking a while for this to load. I'm not sure why. So here now you see which plan I'm on, right? How much that costs. So this is the unlimited one, not the 50 gig and $50 version. Here you can go to change service plan and say, okay, let's say you see that you're not actually using 50 gigabytes of data per month. Well, here you can click and downgrade global roam. Maybe you're going out for extended time, you can do that as well. From here, all that's left to do for you is to kind of decide how you actually want to use this. You could go ahead and pole mount it with the included pole mount and just use the included power supply as well if you want to put that on your house or some other remote location. You can also use it just as the satellite antenna, so just to get the internet, and then you can use your own Wi-Fi router. So in the future, I'll have a video up here somewhere on how to set that up specifically with the unified network. Or you can also click here if you want to see how to use the Starlink Mini on top of your car or camper with the official Starlink roof rack mount. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.